Bottom of the eighth at the stadium. I hate calling it the stadium, out at Pepsi Field, out at Creighton Barrel Park. There used to be a Yankee Stadium. Yanks now down 12-8, bottom eighth against the Red Sox. So the Sox look special this year. Might be some happiness in Beantown, Fenway Park. I don't know.
How many games are they up on the league right now?
I think they're in first place by a good amount of games, right, guys? 5, maybe 6, 7 games. They got a solid lead.
Yeah,
they got a solid lead.
They're up 6.5 right now in the East.
On the East, yeah, they're going to win the division. And
but what about in all of baseball? I mean, they're the best record in baseball, right?
No, Atlanta is.
Oh, that's right. Okay,
yeah, Atlanta looks good. Atlanta looks good. So, Tim, did you ever find yourself in a jam gambling where you directly affected the outcome of a game? Did that ever happen where you like said, God, I need this. I need the cover. So I'm calling a foul right now. All right.
No, it actually never happened, and it was good that we won so much that it never needed to come down to that.
But before that, when you were just gambling before the mob got involved, did you never found
we always just had such a good win percentage. It really never came down to that, which was great because hopefully I wouldn't have crossed that line to do that because I think I would have been in a lot more trouble fixing games.
Yeah. If you actually fixed the game, that's what I'm saying. So you never fixed the game.
Right. I mean, the FBI came out and even the NBA came out after reviewing tape. It was never a situation where they determined that happened.
Because that percentage, again, as a gambler, 75% based on information like that is a hell of that's a percentage. And unfortunately for you, it was. Well, how do you feel? Were these guys you were dealing with in the mob dangerous enough to where if it got down to like 45%, like a few weeks in a row, they would have calmly said, look, this isn't working and walked away, or would you be in trouble, you think?
No, I think it would have come down to something more than that. The guy that, Batista, certainly he wasn't somebody I think that would have done something, but we didn't know who he was dealing with.
Right.
So
you never know who the other guy is.
Exactly.
You don't want to get violent.
Upset behind the scenes.
Right.
So.
Right. And he came out the other side to tell the story. Player-wise, who in the league? Did anybody you hated? Would any player you just couldn't stand, like perpetually? You're like, I want to give it to this guy.
It's funny. Rasheed Wallace was just a complete jerk on the floor, and a lot of the referees had problems with him. And we would even make bets in the locker room to see who could give him a technical foul first. And I'll tell you what, I
eat stuff like that up. I love behind-the-scenes stuff like that with sports.
Right. I tell you what, and after all my problems took place, I had the opportunity to talk with him. And. He couldn't have been a nicer guy. Couldn't have been more hopeful that things turned around for me and my family.
Some guys
maybe
are just so
just
competitive.
Had that switch.
Yeah, some guys are so competitive, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you know them. You know better than me. You played a real big time ball in the NFL. Did you know guys who were just total a-holes on the football field and off nice guys, or vice versa?
Not vice versa. No, there's definitely
super nice on the field and just a jerk.
Most of the time, guys who are the most intense, in action, get all that out of themselves, and they can really.
I'll tell you what, it was such a turn. It was shocking, and even my mom called me up one time and heard him on the radio, and she was just like, I couldn't believe that how nice he was. Complete gentleman, and it was nice to hear.
Yeah.
It sounded like
makes sense.
Sounded like you had a pretty good relationship with Dennis Rodman too, just like, talking.
He's a funny guy. I'll never forget one time he's warming up and he's doing layups and he's putting his hands down his pants and just scratching his his nuts. And I'm thinking after about the 5th time, I said to him, Dennis, what's going on? People are seeing this. He goes, Tim, I had a bunch of almonds today, and almonds flare up my herpes.
What? Oh, my God.
So I'm thinking, the whole time I'm thinking.
And he's scratching them.
Every chance I get during this game, and when I see him get a rebound, I'm going to make sure that ball gets toweled off.
Of course.
I'm going to be looking for something to scrub my hands with.
Oh, my God. I mean, why? Do you like almonds that much? I think I could give up almonds.
Yeah, exactly. Switch to M&M's or something.
I never knew that there was that effect.
Next time I see Carmen Electra eating almonds, I'm going to just giggle my ass off.
Right.
Now, what about, not that she has herpes, but she dated Rodman.
She married him.
Maybe she dated A-Rod. She married Rodman.
Yeah.
That's right. Well, Rodman's a guy I got to know through the Stern Show a little bit, and he's a funny guy. He's a nice guy.
Nice guy.
Just
absolutely.
just a goof or something. Yeah. Like he just likes goofing around.
Right. Athletic goof. Can grab that basketball.
Well, now he's a diplomat.
Yeah, now he's going to save the world.
He's going to help Korea. Now, you wrote a book, Personal Foul, a first-person account of the scandal that rocked the NBA. Was that therapeutic for you writing the book? Did you? I mean, obviously you do it for money, but
right.
Something you felt you needed to do?
No doubt. I mean, it got me through my time in jail, sitting down.
You wrote it in jail?
Wrote it in jail, so it helped me occupy some time, obviously. And, you know, it was definitely a success.
Great.
Yeah, I'll bet.
And it worked out good, except the lady, Shauna Vircher, who published the book, you know, stole the money from me. I had to sue her. Now she owes me $1.8 million.
So you didn't get a big-time company to publish it? You didn't get
it was set up with Random House, and the NBA sent in 2 attorneys into the office of Random House and threatened them, and they dropped it. And I went with her because she said she could get it out. It was, you know, 2 months before Christmas. I thought that was a big selling season. It was important.
Of course.
So, you know, I made the decision to go with her, and she stole the money.
Wow.
So it made money for Christmas, but she stole it.
Exactly.
So
sold
now
10,000 copies in the first 2 months.
She owes you $1.8 million.
She owes me $1.8 million.
What? Is this just like whenever she feels like paying? Or
You should call Batista.
I got a great attorney in Nick Mooney, and we're not going to stop until something, you know.
Call your old buddies at the
send them after him.
Now they know how to get money.
Yeah.
We got to take a break, and we'll come back and wrap up the hour with Tim Donaghy right after this. We're proud to have him. Tim Donaghy with us, former NBA ref. So, Tim, what do you got going on now? Explain the website and what's your deal?
You know, I have a website, refpicks.com, which have 15 handicappers that work for us, specializing in different sports. And we sell picks online, $15, $20, $25 a pop. We got guys like, you know, Paul Bovey and, you know, Kennedy and Bell and, you know, guys who specialize in sports. And, you know, bottom line is surrounding myself with good people, professionals that really take it seriously and, you know, do the research and consistently win.
So you say you're hitting about 61%.
As a group, we're about 61%. You know,
that's amazing.
A guy like Bovey, you know, year in and year out, in a couple different sports is, you know, right around 58 to 60% consistently.
Right. Well, I mean, they're talking all sports.
All sports. He does pretty much all sports.
Well, that is, you got to know your stuff, man, to hit that solid. And I would check that out in a heartbeat if I was still gambling the way I used to. But I know a couple of guys who could use those services. That's nothing. $15, $20 a pick, completely worth it.
Yeah, I mean, and it's something, you know, we don't like guys out there, you know, gambling their rent money or their kids' education money, a form of entertainment instead of buying a couple beers at the bar, you know. Buy a pick and capitalize on it.
What do you do? Future bets? Do you do like? Do you like? Do you like giving bets like, you know, who's going to win the most games for a full season, under overs?
You know, it's mostly under overs and spreads. You know, futures. You know, we were just discussing. You know, I felt like the Broncos were a good pick for the Super Bowl, and that would be my pick, something like that.
Could you lay odds on that? Like, what are you thinking?
You know, you know, I'm not sure what the odds were. I just, you know, like we discussed, Manning's definitely got one more in him before he's done.
Man, if he plays like he did yesterday,
right?
I mean, you know, the guy's pretty great.
Yes,
still.
Surrounded by a lot of talent right now.
Right. Well, that's
better than he ever has.
What about you? What about you, John? You ever consider like handicapping? I mean, you're very knowledgeable.
No,
I mean, especially with football, you're very knowledgeable.
Well, yeah. I mean, I feel like I know. I know a lot. I know guys used to ask me stuff all the time when I was playing. Hey, who do you think? And you can tell when they're digging for, you know, betting advice.
Right.
And he was able not to get involved like that.
Well, he was a player, and he's like, you know, it's you're right.
They lectured us every year.
This guy was making $20 million a year.
On no way you should ever bet.
What were you making, about $20 million a year?
No. That'd be great.
Was there any of that? Did you ever feel a little dig at like you were underpaid and you were like, you know, screw this?
No.
We get paid very well. But
we're definitely paid well. I mean, we made just in airline money because they gave us first-class tickets and we all flew coach and we were able to keep the difference. We made $50,000 a year just in airline money. So
wow.
I was up over $300,000 consistently. And
oh, wow. So you would fly coach and cash in?
Absolutely.
That's
they
a good move.
Would give you, you know, the money for the first class tickets and use free tickets or use cheap coach tickets, and you know you're making that difference.
Well, of course. I mean, I never thought that. So you 50 G's up from that.
Yeah. And
what's the average salary of a ref?
You know, right now I think they probably started about 125, and some of the top guys like Bavetta and Crawford have been around forever, making over 400.
Jeez. Dick Bavetta makes $400,000 a year.
Over 400. Yeah.
Wow. Sorry, just phone
That's
call.
a great gig.
No, I mean,
that must be the highest.
You gotta be in
paid.
shape. You got to be in shape, man, to be a referee. You got to be running all over the place.
Well, that's got to be the highest paid, officials out there, right?
That sounds like it's up there. It's a long season.
It's not like football. It's a full-time gig.
We got to go. Refpicks.com. Is that it?
Yes, sir.
Refpicks.com. Tim, come back anytime, brother.
All right, thanks for having me.
Tim Donaghy. Check that out. I might. Refpicks.com. And we'll be back with Jamie McClain Band, Manny Pastor. Big show. Last 2 hours coming up. The Artie Lange Show.